A local businessman at the center of the Kern law enforcement corruption scandal receives his sentence today. The case of the former elementary school principal accused of murdering her husband takes another turn in court. And an arrest is made after a Bakersfield double shooting overnight. This is 17 News at noon.
Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. I'm Maddie Jansen. We begin with your 17 Court Watch. The businessman convicted of helping police officers sell stolen drugs was sentenced today, and he received a heavier sentence than his partners in crime got. In October, Noel Carter pleaded guilty to federal charges in Fresno. He admitted his role in the drug ring that raided local police and sheriff's departments' evidence lockers for drugs. The plea agreement revealed Carter sold those drugs for former Bakersfield police detectives Damasio Diaz and Patrick Mara at the Bank of America building in downtown Bakersfield. Last week, Carter's attorneys argued he's less culpable for the crimes than Mara and Diaz. His lawyer asked for Carter's sentence to be less than 4.5 years. Today, the judge sentenced him to 7.5 years in prison. We have a page on our website dedicated to the Kern corruption coverage, and you can find that at KGET.com. Also in court today, the case of a former elementary school principal accused of murdering her husband. The trial of Leslie Chance was postponed once again today. A tentative date of April 29th was put on the calendar, though that date is subject to change, especially if the prosecutor or defense attorney is still in another trial. Chance was charged with the murder of her husband, Todd Chance, who was shot to death in an orchard off Enos Lane in August of 2013. Chance was originally arrested just days later, but prosecutors declined to file charges. Then she was arrested for the second time and charged with murder in December of 2016. Since then, the case has been postponed several times. A man has been arrested for a double shooting overnight. We first brought you this story on 17 News at sunrise. A man and woman were both shot in an apartment on 33rd Street in central Bakersfield just after 1 a.m. That's a few blocks west of Memorial Hospital. The man, identified as 47-year-old Jamor Holliday, died at the scene. The woman was taken to the hospital with minor to moderate injuries. BPD later arrested 33-year-old Marquis Candler on suspicion of murder and assault with a deadly weapon. A tragic anniversary for the Bakersfield Three. It's been 1 year since James Kolstad, known as one of the Bakersfield Three, was murdered. 38-year-old James Kolstad was shot and killed in southwest Bakersfield on April 8, 2018. It was only a few weeks after one of his friends, Micah Holsenbake, went missing. And a few weeks after Kolstad was shot and killed, Bailey Despot, who also knew the two men, went missing. An arm found in the Kern River last summer was later identified as belonging to Holsenbake. The mothers of those three have since banded together in search of answers. They run a Facebook page called the Bakersfield Three. Last night they posted a video as James' family got together and hit a few balls in his memory. They say he loved golf. They also wrote messages on seashells that they say they'll leave around town. Each case now has a reward for information that leads to arrests. Meantime, the moms of the Bakersfield Three are all coming together for National Crime Victims' Rights Week. Preparations are underway for the Crime Victims' Rights March tomorrow. The event is put on by the Kern County District Attorney's Office. This year, it's geared toward the loved ones of unsolved murders. The march begins at 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon at the Liberty Bell in front of the courthouse. The mothers of the Bakersfield Three are expected to speak. Then at 5:30, attendees will march from the Liberty Bell to Mill Creek Park. All right, thanks so much, Kevin. Making news around the nation, the director of the U.S. Secret Service is leaving his position. Randolph Ailes, the retired Marine Corps Major General who was appointed 2 years ago, is on his way out the door just the day after the head of the Department of Homeland Security, Secretary Kirstjen Nielsen, resigned. Ailes reported to her more ousters of agency heads within DHS are possible, and a number of key positions remain vacant. An administration official said he was told that President Donald Trump was preparing to make changes in leadership throughout DHS, of which the Secret Service is one component. Meantime, Kirstjen Nielsen forced out as Homeland Security Chief during a White House face-to-face with President Trump. Her resignation coming just 2 days after they visited the border together. NBC's Hallie Jackson reports on the growing tension that led to her resignation and what it means for national security, immigration, and the wall.
A new era this morning inside one of the administration's most high-profile agencies, with embattled Secretary Kirstjen Nielsen out at the Department of Homeland Security. Multiple sources tell NBC News President Trump had grown frustrated with Nielsen's tenure as secretary, giving her the opportunity to resign after a meeting at the White House Sunday night. The president tweeting a perfunctory thanks for Nielsen's service in her resignation letter. Nielsen writing she hopes the next secretary will have the support of Congress and the courts in fixing the laws which have impeded our ability to fully secure America's borders. Her departure coming just 2 days after she accompanied President Trump to the southern border Friday. Nielsen had become the face of the president's most controversial immigration decisions, publicly defending, for example, the separation of families along the border last summer.
We never had a policy for family separation. What we did do was we applied the law equally to anybody who broke it.
She and the president have had a rocky relationship for nearly a year, with Nielsen dogged by incessant rumors she was on the way out.
Does that have confidence in Secretary Nielsen?
As we've said many times before, if the president no longer has confidence in a cabinet member, he'll let you know.
Nielsen is the second top immigration official to leave in less than a week after the president unexpectedly jettisoned his pick to lead ICE.
We're going in a little different direction. Ron's a good man, but we're going in a tougher direction.
Although the number of overall undocumented immigrants crossing the border is down from its peak 2 decades ago, a record number of families and unaccompanied minors are now trying to enter the U.S. Allies of the president have been urging a more hardline approach, privately and publicly. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi overnight saying it is deeply alarming that the Trump administration official who put children in cages is reportedly resigning because she is not extreme enough for the White House's liking.
NBC's Hallie Jackson reporting. A big evening for country music fans last night in Las Vegas, the Academy of Country Music Awards. Keith Urban took home honors as the ACM Entertainer of the Year. Casey Musgraves continued her hot streak after winning Album of the Year at the Grammys for Golden Hour. She won Album of the Year honors once more, as well as Female Artist of the Year. The duo Dan and Shay had a big night. Single of the Year for Tequila was one of their 3 wins. Thomas Rhett won Male Artist of the Year. Also last night, Jason Aldean won the Dick Clark Artist of the Decade Award. Back now on your 17 Health Watch, nearly 100 new cases of the measles have been reported. According to the latest CDC data, 465 cases have been reported in 19 states. Last week, there were 387 reported cases in 15 states. This is the second greatest number of cases reported in the country since the disease was eliminated back in 2000. In states that are experiencing an outbreak, health officials are reporting a significant increase in the amount of vaccinations given compared to last year. The Oakland County Health Division in Michigan has reported a 1,700% increase. The CDC says the majority of the people who got measles were not vaccinated. California is among the 19 states that reported cases. There is startling new research out about the nation's youth and suicide. Canadian researchers studied hospital data involving children in the U.S. ages 5 to 18. Hospital visits for suicide attempts or thoughts nearly doubled over an 8-year period. The rate increased from 580,000 to more than 1 million. Scientists say a cause for the increase is unknown. Experts say the study's findings suggest mental health resources in the community need to be strengthened. A good night's rest may be especially important for teens with attention problems. Researchers at Cincinnati Children's Hospital Medical Center had teen volunteers with ADHD participate in 2 sleep clinics. 1 week, their sleep was restricted. The next, they could sleep as long as they wanted. When the teens got more sleep, they performed better on cognitive tests for working memory and planning and organization. Back in your business, watch and checking stocks. The Dow down about 109 points so far in trading today. The Nasdaq up 6. The S&P 500 down just a fraction. Checking oil prices this afternoon as well. West Texas Intermediate selling for $64.32 a barrel. Midway Sunset started the day at $68.08 a barrel. If you don't know what to do with your child's car safety seat, Target wants to help. Parents, mark your calendars. Target's car seat trade-in event runs April 22nd through May 4th. Consumers can bring in all types of car seats, including infant seats, convertible seats, car seat bases, and car seats that are expired or damaged, and Target will recycle them. In exchange for the safety seat, Target will give you a 20% off coupon toward a new car seat, stroller, or select baby home gear. The coupon's only eligible through May 11th. Target says since launching the program in 2016, they've recycled 500,000 car seats and counting. Back in your business, watch and checking stocks. The Dow down about 109 points so far in trading today. The Nasdaq up 6. The S&P 500 down just a fraction. Checking oil prices this afternoon as well. West Texas Intermediate selling for $64.32 a barrel. Midway Sunset started the day at $68.08 a barrel. If you don't know what to do with your child's car safety seat, Target wants to help. Parents, mark your calendars. Target's car seat trade-in event runs April 22nd through May 4th. Consumers can bring in all types of car seats, including infant seats, convertible seats, car seat bases, and car seats that are expired or damaged, and Target will recycle them. In exchange for the safety seat, Target will give you a 20% off coupon toward a new car seat, stroller, or select baby home gear. The coupon's only eligible through May 11th. Target says since launching the program in 2016, they've recycled 500,000 car seats and counting. The tragic chances are 9 Americans will die today. Another 100 will be injured because of a distraction on the nation's highways. Much of that distraction coming from behind the wheel. So this month, during Distracted Driving Awareness Month, safety advocates are on a campaign to get drivers to just drive. NBC's Chris Clackham reports.
Phone distraction, acceleration.
A brand new app launched earlier this year is aimed at helping drivers focus on just driving.
The system automatically measures driving performance and then rates it against metrics that we've developed that are highly correlated with crashes.
Hari Balakrishnan co-founded Cambridge Mobile Telematics and with backing from the insurance industry developed the Drive Well app that tracks your behavior behind the wheel using your smartphone.
The sensors on the smartphones, things like the position sensors, the acceleration sensors, the gyroscope, and other sensors that every smartphone today has.
Safety advocates are grateful for advancements like the app and for all the attention distracted driving is getting.
We know that about 9% of all fatalities on the roadway are the result of people just not paying attention. So we want people just to drive.
Just Drive is the slogan the National Safety Council has adopted for its Distracted Driving Awareness campaign this month that President Nick Smith says encourages drivers to just get back to the basics.
So we just need people focused on the job at hand, which is looking straight ahead and putting their hands on the wheel and just driving.
Avoiding the biggest culprit, texting or talking on cell phones, as well as anything to do with dashboard touchscreens, so that drivers don't learn the hard way the often tragic consequences of those distractions. Chris Clackham, NBC News.
A group of Fresno kids saves a woman's life, how they were in the right place at the right time, and the message they had for her that everyone should hear. Welcome back. Now to a remarkable group of kids in Fresno. Middle school volleyball players were working out over the weekend when they spotted a woman in distress, and their quick thinking and kind words being credited with saving her life. Here's NBC's Gotti Schwartz.
For a team of young volleyball players in Fresno, California, it was a break from their regular routine.
We don't run that bridge, ever. In my 6 years here, never did that. And none of the sports that we've done.
Volleyball coach Murray Elliott had his team go for a run over a bridge near their school, but nothing prepared the boys for what they found there.
We thought it was a girl from our school, but it wasn't.
It was a woman hanging from this bridge by her arms, more than 100 feet in the air.
I realized what was going on when her foot started dangling. Then after that, we all ran down as a team to go tell our coach.
Authorities say the 47-year-old woman had been trying to jump in an attempt to take her own life. A shocked Coach Elliott called 911.
I said immediately, go back up and get her attention, tell her life matters. So for a whole 10 minutes or so, they did not stop yelling, screaming, telling her your life matters.
She was like hanging. Her feet were dangling off, and it was really hard for her to pull herself up.
The boys did what they could, pleading with the woman to pull herself back up, and she eventually did.
I don't think I'll ever forget that moment. And then what was best about it is, I know we saved the woman's life, but I'm proud that I was able to do it with my brothers.
The Fresno police called the boys true heroes, adding their words of encouragement caused this woman to realize her life had value. Thank God they were in the right place at the right time.
I believe that no matter what you're going through in life, if you pray and you fight through it, you're going to make it through.
I'm like a father to them. So to see them do the things that I instill in them is so gratifying. You know, as a coach and to a father figure to them. So I'm very proud of them.
Gotti Schwartz reporting, according to the Mayo Clinic, the Kepler team did everything right on that bridge. They say if you see someone attempting to commit suicide, don't leave the person alone. Call 911 and try not to handle the situation alone and get help from a trained professional as soon as possible. If you need help, you can call the Suicide Lifeline at 1-800-273-8255.